Good afternoon. My name is Juan Play, and I am a undergraduate at the University of Denver studying marketing. And today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience at the Creative Industry Expo at South by Southwest for my third day. And this was not a session or with like a featured speaker or panelists or anything like that. This was a warehouse full of startups. Uh, and this was really like a self-guided um, research session for me. Um, so here are a couple of the uh, businesses that I talked to. Um, some of them I forget the name of the company, uh, but I can provide that in the description. But there was a uh, company out of Japan that creates VR experiences, and they were demonstrating a VR Ninja Warrior experience, which is actually where Ninja Warrior started. It's called Sasuke. Um, and I don't know if you know this or not, but Ninja Warrior is like a athletics competition where these peak athletes do crazy stunts and um, on these like massive built obstacle courses. So it's a pretty cool show. But this virtual reality experience was meant to show off the obstacle course at scale, so that people could experience what it was like to run one of these obstacle courses themselves and really put themselves in the shoes of the competitors. And it was actually a really wild experience because when you're looking at a two-dimensional screen and you're watching these um, you know athletes in peak physical health performing these stunts, there's a disconnect that happens. Um, where that this takes immense skill, and that this is not something that you could do necessarily without incredible amounts of training. And but when you get into the virtual reality space and you see the actual proportions of these walls that they're climbing and these obstacles that they're going through, it's absolutely mind-blowing because you suddenly connect yourself with them and with the environment that they're put in, and you realize like, oh, this is intense. So that was a really wild experience for me, and it really just bolstered my appreciation for the mental effects of virtual reality, and how great of a storytelling device that virtual reality really is, because it puts you in the position of a player in your own story, and can really allow you to experience what a character in a story experiences, much like this allows you to really get a closer experience of the real thing for somebody um, on Ninja Warrior. And then just moving on to the next company that I was chatting with was Brain Audio, and they're they produce a new type of Bluetooth speaker that has a built-in subwoofer. And this wasn't really so much of a educational experience, but it was cool because it was just so dang effective. Uh, I had no idea what this brand is, but I can say now that I'm definitely an advocate for it. Um, it was the amount of bass that was produced from such a small device was just insane. It shook the walls of the place. Um, so it was that was really cool to witness. And I mean, I guess it was slightly educational. I was talking to one of the engineers about how they were able to produce so much compression with such a small device, because the subwoofer itself is pretty flat and it sits right at the bottom of the device. So it was pretty interesting, but um, that device is going to be released in the next couple months for $5.99. Um, so check out Brain Audio, Brane, I believe, Brain Audio. Um, so that was really cool. And then I actually had a really long and interesting conversation with this company called Haptics, Haptx, who I've actually been following for quite some time. And they were on Kickstarter about 8 years ago, and um, I used to follow them because I thought it was so cool. I had no idea what happened to them, but apparently, they've been successful in producing some prototypes. And essentially, what they're creating is a haptic feedback glove that uses compressed air. So there's like a huge box that sits on the floor with a tube that goes into one arm and a tube that goes into another arm, and they're like these gauntlet gloves that they put on, and there are actuators in there that pull against your fingers as you're touching things in virtual reality to simulate pressure, to simulate like an actual physical substance to something, um, so that when you grab onto, the glasses, for example, and and your fingers stop when they hit the object, it doesn't feel like there's nothing there. It actually feels like there's glasses in your hand. And in my opinion, the device has a really long way to go. Um, a device has a really long way to go before it's going to be viable for like gaming or just everyday consumer use. Um, but I think for enterprise applications right now, it could be a really good solution, uh, because they don't. I mean, for most of the manufacturing things and 3D modeling stuff that they're using virtual reality for now in an enterprise setting doesn't really require the level of detail and immersion that gamers want, for example. So it's not ready for gamers, but it could definitely be ready for enterprise usage at the moment. That's my thoughts on that. Then I talked to a company that's doing device management for virtual reality deployment. Um, and so that's just a device management system for virtual reality. So that was honestly kind of boring to me. Sorry, guys. And then, another really cool one was this internet sharing company that um, is sort of creating a way to monetize your own internet bandwidth. So you would put up access points around your business, and you'd have a guest network, and a fast network, and people could log into your fast network outside of your building and pay for your internet, so that they could have internet anywhere if they're walking on the sidewalk or something, and it would provide you with an additional income stream. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I had a pretty good conversation with some of the people that were working there. So, but one main thing that I took away from the expo was that it seems like all these companies are trying to um, involve the user more and engage with people on a deeper level. A lot of the stuff there was virtual reality, and so that's kind of what leads me to believe that this is kind of the next movement, putting people in a story. So thanks.